Hello, my name is Riley Everett, and this is my 5-minute presentation on Donald Douglas. At the age of 12, Donald Douglas witnessed, or he saw the newspaper of the Wright brothers' successful flight, and 4 years later, he would witness Orville fly for the U.S. Army Signal Corps. This would inspire him to join the U.S. Naval Academy in 1909. He would start making model planes in his free time, and he would leave the Naval Academy to attend MIT to study aeronautics to pursue his dream. He actually graduated as one of the first aerospace engineers in the United States. Before establishing his own company, he had plenty of ex engineering experience in the commercial and military aircraft scene. As you can see, he has lots of experience at many different places for many different companies, and he utilized that knowledge to form his own company and make his own aircraft, such as the Cloudster and the Douglas World Cruiser. The Cloudster was actually the first aircraft to take off with a load that exceeded the aircraft's empty weight. So the load put on the airplane was heavier than the actual plane itself. The US didn't use this exact design, but they engineered an aircraft based on the Cloudster that was used for torpedo bombing. And then the Douglas World Cruiser in the bottom right was actually the first aircraft to fly around the world. Um, there was a request from Transcontinental and Western Air for a plane that could carry 12 passengers at 145 miles per hour. Well, Donald Douglas made the DC-1, and it would carry 14 passengers at 180 miles per hour. Transcontinental and Western would take this plane, and then Donald Douglas, his company would kind of really take off at that point. He made the DC-2, which won the 1935 Collier Trophy. This would reduce transcontinental time to less than 16 hours. In class, we've talked about the DC-3. It was the most successful commercial airliner in history. Many of them, I think there's about 150 that still fly today. And you can see the one that's at Smyrna is actually the one pictured too. The DC-6, 7, and 8 were jet powered, and they would found the modern aircraft transport system. Um, And then the 9 and 10 were our jets that are still used today, and you can see a lot of them being used at FedEx. Using his popularity, he developed extreme air power for the military. Um, in 1937, he would make the B-19, which was the largest bomber in the world at the time and one of the most notable aircraft in United States history. He would make about 30,000 aircraft for the military and Allied powers during World War II. Um, Douglas eventually joined with McDonnell Douglas to make many of the most famous and commercial aircrafts that are used today. Boeing and McDonnell Douglas have also worked together plenty of times to make military aircraft such as the F-18 Super Hornet, the YC-15 in the top left corner. Never made it, and I don't think it ever made it into the U.S. Air Force, but it was used to make the C-17, which is one of a very popular aircraft that's used today in the military. The DC-3, as we mentioned earlier, one of the most successful commercial aircraft in history. In the bottom left, you have another DC-10 used at UPS for cargo primarily. You got the Apache uh, in the bottom middle, which is McDonnell Douglas has their own line of helicopters as well. And then McDonnell Douglas also has plenty of airplanes they've made. As you can see, the X-36 was actually used by NASA, and Boeing also helped McDonnell Douglas make that. Um, they have made many experimental planes, and a lot of these don't utilize a vertical stabilizer, um, reducing drag and that kind of stuff, because of the high speeds that these aircraft are flying. Um, but yeah, McDonnell Douglas has had a lasting impact, obviously, on the commercial and military aircraft industry. Thank you for watching my presentation, and these are my sources.